Everyone, welcome. Thank you very much for joining me here on IPO Market Watch. It's been about 5 or 6 days since I last did a YouTube video, and there's so much stuff that I want to catch up with and a lot of things I want to show you, right? But there are mainly just 2 stocks that I'm going to focus on in this YouTube video that are going to be massive opportunities for the beautiful, gorgeous, long-term investors. People they listen to long-term investing and they run away until they look up my last year YouTube videos on Rocket Lab. I'll show you. And then they say, geez, man, I wish I would have known about it. I would have gotten all in and so on. But if you would have told people, those who are always in a hurry, last year, buy Rocket Lab at $4, that's one of my YouTube videos was at $4, and hold on to it for a year or two. Yeah, you know the story, okay? I don't want to hold for a year or two, and then when the year or two goes by, you regret that you didn't hold. So 2 massive stocks.
It's massive.
Are going to play a crucial role in what you have heard about many times lately, which is the Golden Dome that is going to protect the United States from the bottom of the seafloor all the way up to space. This is actually something that was imagined and thought about back in the Ronald Reagan years, but it's coming back now. There's going to be trillions of dollars that are going to be spent for this. It's going to be years in the making. A lot of stuff is going to be involved, a lot of wealth opportunities for companies and the shareholders. So if you want to know about what 2 companies, now I'm not going to talk to you about companies that are $300-400 a share. I'm going to talk to you about companies that are trading extremely cheap right now, extremely cheap, and will be companies, in my opinion, that are going to benefit from the Golden Dome. Their share price is going to rise within the next 2 years massively. They're super important companies. So if you want to know, watch the rest of this YouTube video. Before I get started with those 2 companies, as always, you have to be updated, and we have to look back at what we've done so far, both on YouTube and Discord. One of the YouTube videos that I did, recently was for an IPO, and in this, YouTube IPO video, I talked about ticker symbol BULL and FTRK. Called both a buy. All right, BUL obviously more, and it had gone up massively after it IPO'd. And FTRK, guys, FTRK was a pre-order on Webull for $4 a share. So you could have ordered it for $4 a share before it went public. And I had said that this is a good IPO to pre-order and sell on day 1, day 2, whatever after that, but don't hold it for long, right? Now, $4 a share, mind you that it's now at $7 right now, as of yesterday, $7. Obviously, it's a sell now. Don't hold it any longer than that. There goes, nearly 100% gain. Also, I did a YouTube video very recently where I talked about ticker symbol ATYR at $3.84. Here's a screenshot of the YouTube video. $3.84. Stock is now at $5.70 just days after. I also did a YouTube video for ticker symbol NAK at 64 cents, guys. NAK is now at $1.30 as of yesterday. And then also over on the Discord on May 30, 2025, I told them that I will buy RRGB at $5.19. Sold it on June 3rd, 2025 at $6.52. So we went from $5.19 to $6.52. One thing that was added to our beautiful Discord community recently is a powerful AI tool that uses Peter Lynch criteria. Peter Lynch, if you don't know, is pretty much, after Warren Buffett, the next greatest investor in history. Some people might argue that he's better than Warren Buffett. Either way, you can put them both in the same level. Warren Buffett, Peter Lynch, these are powerful, historical, greatest, investors ever. And if you can invest like them, you're going to build wealth, right? So we have the Peter Lynch screener, which can analyze any stock you ask it, or you can do other things like compare stocks and so on. So we have that here all over on the Discord. People will click on that. Then they can ask, for example, analyze CMCL, and it will give you, detailed explanation on key metrics and so on. And at the end, it will tell you, like, it's a moderate buy, or for HIMS, it said it is a strong buy according to the metrics that Peter Lynch uses. So it's pretty cool. It's awesome. It works really, really good. And I agree with all the analysis and final decision that this tool comes out with for each stock. If If you want to join us over on Discord/Patreon community, the link will be in the description of the YouTube video. There's plenty more and more AI tools that will be added very, very soon this month over on the Discord. Now, first, let's understand what this whole Golden Dome thing is, and then we're going to go over to those two stocks, which I think that people should at least have in the back of their mind. I'm not saying that you should buy them because I'm not your financial advisor, but maybe you might want to have it in the back of your mind.
President Trump on Tuesday unveiled plans for a so-called Golden Dome. It's his twist on the Iron Dome, the informal name for Israel's missile defense system. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth characterized it as an important step for the U.S.
This right here, the Golden Dome for America, is a game changer. It's a generational investment in the security of America and Americans. President Reagan 40 years ago cast the vision for it. The technology wasn't there. Now it is, and you're following through to say we will protect the homeland.
Total cost for this project would be about $175 billion, and it could take just 3 years to complete. Now, that's on the low end.
All right, I can tell you right away that this thing is not going to be completed within 3 years. Whenever you have massive, massive projects, there's always delays. I also believe, and this is just my opinion, let me know in the comment section below, that by the time the Golden Dome project is full, operational and complete, it would have cost the United States of America $1 trillion, because we're talking about protecting the U.S. minimum, maybe Canada, I don't know. That's something that Canada would have to also, put money into. So let's go over to a headline, which is this. Now this was on May 29, 2025. With strategic acquisitions, Rocket Lab pursues prime defense contractor status. This is not by luck, nor looking to just fool around, or let me get some revenue, just a little bit, whatever. Rocket Lab is going to become, with years to come ahead, not just your next SpaceX, which is already the next SpaceX. After SpaceX, anywhere in the world, what's the next company? It's Rocket Lab, which was the main investment thesis that I had for Rocket Lab going back since it was $3.98. I kept repeating it in all my YouTube videos. I did like 8-10 YouTube videos. I talked about it over on the Discord many times, and that was the main thesis. Like, this is going to be the next SpaceX. But now we're going into a whole new level with Rocket Lab, just like I talked about in my last video, where they will have their own constellation system, where they will now become one of the top defense companies for the United States. Not just going to be, to launch, for some private company, a satellite and so on. So Rocket Lab signs a $460 million deal with U.S. missile tracking tech company. And, if you look at this website, IQT, if you don't know, and I've talked about it many times before, if you follow my channel, if you follow me, IQT is an investment firm that is owned, backed by the CIA. And IQT has been an early investor in Rocket Lab, and still is, but was in Rocket Lab before Rocket Lab was a publicly traded company, right? And it's still part of their portfolio. Now, I repeat, this is a company backed by the CIA. So if you go into their portfolio, they have plenty of companies. One is Rocket Lab. And don't be surprised if you go to their portfolio and see that most of the companies have to do something with surveillance, security, and defense, right? That's the whole. So one of the YouTube videos that I did for Rocket Lab was last year at $4.80, calling this one of the top buys to hold for a year or two. And I repeat, a year or two. Like, people tell me, give me the next $4 stock that's going to become like Rocket Lab. That's going to be huge, and I can give you one. But are you going to hold? Are you going to be willing to hold for a year or two? Are you? People look at Palantir right now and they say, wow, Palantir is at 120, or 130 bucks. I don't remember what was the last share price that I saw. Around there, it's over 100 bucks, right? And people say, I wish I was in Palantir. No, you probably wouldn't have been, because Palantir went public back in 2021, if I remember, right, around there, through a direct listing. It took them 3 full years of being a publicly traded company to finally explode and go up so high. And you're gonna look at Rocket Lab now, and it's at 26.96, 27 bucks. Rocket Lab is not done. 27 bucks 3 years ago So is Palantir. Rocket Lab is not done at all. This isn't over. It's not over. This company is growing massively into whole new things you can't even think about. It's not about going only to planet Mars. It's not about sending satellites for a private company. Like I said, they're now having their own constellation system. Neutron rocket still hasn't become fully operational yet. It will, and the massive revenue that it's going to bring to Rocket Lab. Rocket Lab is now going to be a company that's probably going to take a huge role in the building of the Golden Dome. And I'll repeat that. I really believe that Rocket Lab will be one of the companies that's going to take and play a role in building the Golden Dome for the United States, which is just anybody who takes part in this huge opportunity is going to make a lot of money, right? All right, so let's move on to the next stock, guys, which is, for me, AMTM, Amentum Holdings. And I've talked about it before. I've done pre-IPO videos for Amentum Holdings, which wasn't an IPO, it was actually a spin-off from Jacobs, but I did cover it before it went public. So on June 2nd, 2025, for example, one of the many times I've talked about Amentum, I said, you need to look at Amentum Holdings. This recent defense spin-off is seriously undervalued. We're talking about a stable business, growing revenue, solid free cash flow, and it is only trading at 8.5 times forward earnings, which is very attractive. If you add in the huge $1 trillion defense budget that is coming and Jacobs selling pressure, which is not gone, then the stock is primed to fly. When I posted this, Amentum was trading at $19.81. Although I've already called Amentum a solid long-term buy, I called it at $18.63 for our top tier members over on the Patreon and YouTube membership. And right now it's at $21.33, guys. It's not over. I mean, this is just the beginning for Amentum Holdings, in my opinion. This is one of the most powerful, easiest, greatest long-term investments I can make. Personally speaking, for me, it's not financial advice for you, because I'm not a perfect human being, obviously, right? I can make mistakes, and I will make mistakes in the stock market, but I like Amentum Holdings, and I'm going to stick to it. I believe in it. This is just my opinion.
Over a century, we've tackled pressing issues with historical significance. Yet we remain focused on what's next, advancing initiatives that clean our environment, support our nation and our allies, and explore our universe. We're delivering advanced engineering and technology solutions to address the most significant challenges in science, security, and sustainability. Our mission is clear, and our time is now. Amentum.
Google and search about Amentum Holdings and the Golden Dome recently, today, like I did. You get this Golden Dome missile defense system from Amentum's website, right? Golden Dome missile defense system. And then there's other things that Amentum is talking about on their website, like the global government and private sector, the aerospace capabilities, the space mission support. But let's click on the first one, and we get here, Golden Dome defending through innovation and integration, a mission of unparalleled complexity, and explains why Amentum has everything that the Golden Dome project needs. And then you have Amentum mission proven adaptable ground layer for Golden Dome, and also a proven scalable solution. The latest earnings in the second quarter of 2025, they had a solid Q2 performance, continued demand for their mission focused solutions across diversified end markets. Their total revenue in 2024 ended at $7.5 billion, but it's projected that it will go to $11.26 billion by the time this year ends, which is obviously a massive growth. Deleveraging with robust free cash flow. I mean, what else do you need? I mean, this is it. For me, Rocket Lab, Amentum Holdings both make super sense, not just for the Golden Dome project, but as long-term investments. I think they're awesome. They're great. Amazing. Rocket Lab at $4.39 was where my average is. I'm still holding, I'm not letting it go. I'm up huge, but I'm never going to let it go, because that's like, your next Palantir type as far as share price. I know Rocket Lab, I believe it. This is just my opinion. It's going to hit $120, $130 someday, which is just, it's insane. It's amazing just to think about how you can build great wealth, years later, if you stick to a great company, and so on. Leave a question in the comment section of this YouTube video, and I will answer it. I will answer you if you have anything that you want me to, if you don't understand anything. And if you want to hit the subscribe button, that would be really awesome, because it really does help this channel. It helps this channel to grow, and it helps me to be motivated and find things for you guys and talk about things. And also, if you want to join our Discord community, you can do that through Patreon. The link is in the description of this YouTube video, or through YouTube paid membership. One of the two. They both lead to Discord. Thank you very much, and I wish you guys all the best. Take care.